Yeah, um, peace be unto you all. So, today let's talk about how the LGBT issue is taking a center stage in Ghana securing an IMF deal. That people haven't realized why the government, I mean the NPP government, are not able to make their stance when it comes to LGBT. Okay, so now let's start from this. IMF, the money that IMF used to loan countries, bail out struggling and sinking economies, does not fall from the skies. It's money paid to a pool by so-called superpowers, the so-called developed countries. And America is the highest contributor to the IMF fund, and they have a veto power. Let me give you one example. IMF has a policy that IMF will never bail out a country at war. But when Ukraine needed a bailout, a support, America played their games, amended the policy, and IMF granted Ukraine a loan. So it tells you they have some kind of a veto power when it comes to IMF. And we are here when Uganda passed the anti-LGBT law. US threatened them to revoke that law. If not, they are not going to support them with grants and everything. Now, Ghana is in dire need of IMF bailout. And Ghana might be the next country to pass an anti-LGBT law. And you expect the president, as weak as he is, as pro as Western as the government is, to make their stand that we are against LGBT, so that the so-called world power, superpower, America will make sure that Ghana will never secure an IMF bail, because that is the only thing they are going to use to intimidate them. So don't be surprised that our government is so coward, okay, for not being able to make their stand that we are against or for. So don't be surprised. This is the reason why they can never make their stance when it comes to this LGBT issue or this anti-LGBT bill in Ghana's parliament, or what they call proper sexual human blah blah blah, whatever they call it. They can never make their stance, if they will even make any attempt to, unless they are done securing that IMF bailout. Before that, they can never, because if they make any attempt, US is going to use their veto power to make sure Ghana will never get an IMF bail, and they will use that as a grounds to force them to revoke that bill. So don't be surprised as a Ghanaian, and as an African, you have to pray, and we have to all add we have to add our voice to make sure this thing will never be accepted or will never find its grounds in Africa.